Achha, so this was question 14 in the practice questions that sir gave. The first one, the first question is saying that there's an array. Uske andar there's n elements in the array and all of them are distinct. Pairwise just means if you take two pairs, like if you take any pair, they're going to be distinct. So they're just saying all the elements are distinct. Design a randomized Las Vegas algorithm, select n smaller than n distinct elements. So we want to find out m elements from this array that are distinct. Ab kyunki sare distinct hain, the normal way to do this would have been just pehle ke m utha lo. Lekin they want to add a random touch to this. So they're saying make a Las Vegas randomized algorithm to find m distinct elements. And then they're saying what is the expected runtime of this algorithm. So if you guys watched the previous tutorial, then uske andar we did a question in which there is a balls and bins wala a representation of this problem. So we're going to be doing exactly that. The way we're going to do this algorithm is we're going to picture acha hamare paas n elements, and let's say we have 8 elements. Is tarah 8 ye jitne bhi, doesn't really matter. और उनकी कुछ वैल्यूज़ होंगी, 7 होगा, 10 होगा, 9 होगा, 1 3 कुछ भी हो सकता है, ठीक है. उसके साथ साथ हम एक क्या बनाएंगे, एक और अरे बनाएंगे विच रिप्रेजेंट्स वेदर ईच वैल्यू हैज़ बिन विजिटेड और नॉट. विजिट का मतलब है कि क्या मैंने इसको डिस्टिंक्ट वाले अरे आंसर अरे के अंदर डाल दिया या नहीं. देन वी गोना हैव अ रैंडम फंक्शन विच इज जस्ट गोना रिटर्न सम रैंडम इंडेक्स इन द रेंज ऑफ n. ठीक है. सो दिस वाज n साइज का है, इसमें n 8 है या 10 है, जितने भी आई हैव काउंटेड. सो रैंडम ऑफ n इज गोना रिटर्न सम रैंडम इंडेक्स इनसाइड दिस रेंज. ठीक है ना. हम उस इंडेक्स पे जाएंगे और वो वाला एलिमेंट उठा लेंगे. मसला क्या है कि रैंडम फंक्शन आपको, रैंडम का जो फंक्शन है, इट कैन गिव यू एन इंडेक्स दैट यू हैव प्रीवियसली विजिटेड. सो लेट्स से रैंडम एन मैंने जब पहली दफ़ा किया, सो आई गॉट रिटर्न द, उसने कहा 6. सो आई गो टू द 6 इंडेक्स और वहाँ पे जो एलिमेंट है मैं उसको उठा के आंसर अरे में डाल दूँगा, उसके अंदर डाल दिया. ठीक है. मसला ये है कि जब मैं चलते रहूँगा और आगे डालते रहूँगा आंसर अरे के एलिमेंट्स में, आई वांट टू गेट m डिस्टिंक्ट नंबर्स. नाउ लेट्स से m इज़ लाइक, लेट्स से n इज़ 10. So there are 10 elements, n is equal to 10, ठीक है. And the number of elements that I want to find are, let's say, 7 distinct elements from this, and I want to randomly pick them. तो मेरा जो random का फंक्शन है, जब पहली दफ़ा चलेगा, it'll give me some index, let's say give me index 5. तो मैंने 5th इंडेक्स पे जो भी वैल्यू थी उठा के डाल दी आंसर वाले अरे में. The next time the random function runs, it might come to the same number, right? There's a very small chance of it happening in the starting, लेकिन बाद में डालते रहूँगा. Let's say मेरे, I wanted to find, let's say, m is equal to 7, right? So I want to find 7 distinct numbers in this array of size 10. So once I've found 6 numbers and I've put 6 distinct numbers into my answer array, and I want to find the last 7th number, and I use random का fairly high chance होगा to return an index that I have already visited, right? मैं array के अंदर visit करते रहूँगा, उसके डालते रहूँगा to quickly check कि अच्छा ये मेरा visit array यहाँ पे 1 था या नहीं. तो मैंने let's say 6 इंडेक्स को एक्सप्लोर किया, तो मैंने चेक किया अच्छा 6 इंडेक्स 1 2 3 4 5 6, let's say 6 0 है. तो फिर 6 पे जो भी वैल्यू थी मैंने उठाई और उसको आंसर ए के अंदर डाल दिया. ठीक है. जब मैंने डाल दिया, सो I'd make this 1, right? When I move on in the algorithm, what's going to happen is my visit array will fill, and the chance of my random function returning an index that I've already visited and added to the answer array will grow higher, right? So you understand the algorithm is fairly simple. That's the randomized algorithm. It's Las Vegas. Las Vegas is because it's Las Vegas because, well, the way we're going to work with the algorithm is that it will terminate. Las Vegas algorithms are random in the nature that they do terminate eventually, but technically they could end up running for an infinitely long amount of time. Like, eventually वो answer मतलब they will always go to an answer. They won't stop until they found the right answer. Monte Carlo algorithms क्या करते हैं? They just stop at some point, even if the answer is not entirely correct. So khair, we understand the algorithm. We're just going to keep visiting locations using the random function until we find m distinct elements, and we have put m distinct elements into the array. The more complicated part of this is the runtime for this. So the expected runtime for this algorithm is going to be, I think, ln करके कुछ होगा. We'll see exactly किस तरह निकालेंगे. So the first distinct element, उसका I'm going to do exactly what we did in the balls and bins वाला runtime analysis. So the first element को जब मैं निकालूंगा, what is the chance that I find a new element random function के साथ? I find an element that I haven't visited. In the starting, everything is not visited, so the chance that I find the first element to be unseen before is exactly 1, right? Because all of them are unvisited. In the second try I do, so the second hit or the second element I have to put, second distinct element I have to add to the answer array, the chance of me going to an index that I haven't visited before is n minus 1 upon n, because one of these indices, let's say in the first iteration, one of these will have been visited, right? तो मेरे पास सारे जो हैं वंस होंगे, सारे जो हैं ज़ीरोज़ होंगे, ठीक है, सब ज़ीरोज़ हैं. लेट्स से पहली आइट्रेशन में मैंने फिफ्थ इंडेक्स को विजिट किया हुआ था, तो सिर्फ ये फिफ्थ वाला ऑन होगा. तो द चांस ऑफ मी विजिटिंग द फिफ्थ वन इज़ फेयरली स्मॉल. इन फैक्ट इट्स 1/n चांस दैट आई विजिट वही वाला गलती से दोबारा रैंडम फंक्शन मुझे वही फिफ्थ इंडेक्स दोबारा दे दे. लेकिन देयर इज एन -1/n चांस दैट आई फाइंड some unvisit element and I put that into the distinct answer array. In the second, so this was me putting the first element. The chance of me finding a new element in the first iteration was 100% one chance. In the second iteration, I've already visited one element, so there are n-1 unvisited elements. So the chance in the second run was n-1 upon n. And then now that I've added two elements after this in the answer array. So now there's an n-2 chance of me visiting an unvisited element. So the next iteration will take n-2 upon n, and then n-3 upon n, and so on and so forth. And I have to do this for m distinct elements. So for the mth, when I'm about to put the mth distinct element, m-1 of them are already filled, are already visited. Okay? So the chance of me visiting an unvisited element is actually going to be, there are n elements of these, m-1 are already visited. So the chance of me finding an unvisited element is actually n-m upon n-1 upon n. Now expectation हमने पिछली क्लास में की थी was simply, so if the chance, so let's say in the first iteration, the probability of me finding n-1 upon the probability of me finding an unvisited element in the second iteration is n-1 upon n, because exactly one of these guys has been visited, बाकी सब जो हैं खाली हैं. So the chance of me visiting an unvisited element is n-1 upon n. The expected number of tries I have to make is actually going to be n upon n-1. Now I'll go into detail with this, but I don't want to make this tutorial very long. But it's in the last tutorial if you want to see this in depth. So the expected number of tries I have to make before finding the second distinct element is going to be n upon n-1 tries. Okay? This is the number of expected random functions को मैं दोबारा कॉल करूँगा. ठीक है? So there are if there were n-1 unvisited elements and there were a total of n elements, then the expected number of tries it would take me to find an unvisited element would have been n upon n-1, and so on and so forth. For exactly इन सब के साथ भी यही होगा. तो ठीक है, तो इसमें क्या होगा, the number of expected tries I have to make to find the mth element is going to be n upon n-m-1. ठीक है? We'll just overall सबकी expected, so the expected number of tries I have to make to find the first distinct element is 1. For the second distinct element I have to make like an expected number of tries I have to make is n upon n-1, and then it's n upon n-2, and so on and so forth. For the mth element is going to be n upon n-m-1, right? And this is a harmonic series, and you can sum this up. If I summed all of this up, this is the total number of expected tries I intend to make, or iterations I intend to make in my algorithm. इसका overall run time आएगा, n को common ले लो. अच्छा, इसको मैं represent कर सकता हूँ. 1 can just be written as n upon n, which makes sense because the chance of me visiting an unvisited element in the first iteration was n upon n, because there are n unvisited elements divided by n. So that's why the expected number of tries is exactly 1. So now this can be simplified as n बाहर common आ गया, अंदर हो गया 1 upon n minus 1, so on and so forth, all the way up till n minus m minus 1. Acha, this simplifies, we did this in the last tutorial, this simplifies to n log n. I believe it was So if this went actually up down till so 1, it would have been a log ln n. This is slightly different. It's going to be something like n log n ln n minus 1 ऐसा कुछ होगा. लेकिन for simplicity's sake, and I know this is wrong, we'll just simplify this as log n log n. So the expected runtime is going to be something like n log n. ठीक है. I'll try to cover the exact formula for this. इसको मैं बाद में I'll try to upload this कि इसका exact answer क्या था. लेकिन for now we'll move on to the next question.